Hello everybody and welcome to this Scouting Report. I'm Dan Haiek here with Matt Doyle from Tucson, Arizona, previewing the Chicago Fire 2014 regular season. In May of 2013, this team acquired Mike Magee, who ended up the
decent trade.
Yeah, the MVP of the 2013 Major League Soccer season. Now they'll have him for a full year, along with strike partner Juan Luis Nongano. Does that mean they're going to be pumping in the goals this year?
I think it does mean they should produce a more balanced scoring attack than last year. Both of these guys came in mid-season in 2013, and Magee adjusted right away. Nongano did a lot of good things, but he couldn't find the range himself. One of the things I like about this partnership, though, is it does remind me a little bit of the 2012 Earthquakes, and of course their new coach, Frank Gallup, coach of those 2012 Earthquakes. Nongano, a big, solid, strong target forward who will make that near post run. Mike Magee can get to the back post a lot like Chris Wondolowski.
Yep.
So there's a lot to like about the looks of this attack, but it really does come down to getting Patrick Nyarko fit and healthy for 30 games, getting Dilly Duca fit and healthy for 30 games, and then figuring out the central midfield, which I think is still up in the air.
Now this is a team that early in the offseason traded away Jalil Anibaba, who started 34 games in 2013, traded him away for two center backs, Patrick Gianni and John Kennedy Hurtado. Now most recently, they've traded away Austin Berry, the 2012 Rookie of the Year, who also started 34 games in 2013. Does this defense have what it takes in 2014?
I think it's a big question. I think it's an open question because they got John Kennedy Hurtado and Patrick Gianni to play that Austin Berry role this year. And both those guys are solid veterans, but both are sort of on the downside of their careers right now, thanks mostly to injuries. Hurtado has never been the same player he was before his knee injury a couple years back, and he'll be playing alongside Bakary Samari, who was good last year, but tends to play better when he's next to a familiar central defender. There's a lot to learn in the build-up, and right back is maybe an even bigger question. Anibaba doesn't look like what we think of as a prototypical overlapping right back, but he turned himself into one of the better crossers in the league, and that was a real weapon for the Fire. I don't know who they have who can match that right out the gate in 2014. It is a big question for them.
All right, they do have the reigning MVP, but as we say, there are some questions in defense. They missed out on the playoffs on a tiebreaker last year. Is this a playoff team in 2014?
I think they're going to be scrapping for that 4th, 5th spot, just as they've done the past couple of years. If everything goes right, they won't have to scrap because they do have a ton of attacking talent. But really, there are so many questions that need answering. I didn't even mention Jeff Lorenowitz, who is a very, very good player, borderline all-star every year, borderline U.S. national team player, but always at his best when he's alongside another defensive midfielder. Well, it doesn't look like the role he's going to play this year under Frank Gallup, as big a question as any of them. So a lot of things have to go right for this team to keep playing into November.
All right, well, we'll see if it starts on the right foot on March 9th against Chivas USA. That one kicks off at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it on Unimas.